Look, I'm going to be honest. I've been keeping this guitar to myself for a little while. Why? Well, it's kind of personal, so you'll have to wait until the end, but also because I was being greedy. I wanted it on stage with me at my recent sold-out shows before I introduced you. But now that those are done and dusted, I want to share with you my new addition to my live rig, my Vigier GV Hollow. Before I get into my history with Vigier and the story of this guitar, here are the specs. It's short scale at 24.8 inches with a semi-hollow, naturally aged alder body with a flamed maple top. Locking tuners, chrome hardware, hardtail bridge with amber hand-wound pickups, 5-position switch, so yes, these humbuckers can be coil split. It's available in a number of finishes, but I went with this matte stone wash blue, which is everywhere, back and front, headstock. The varnish sits drying for 5 weeks minimum, and it even leads me to show you the neck. Yes, look at this really slim carbon reinforced neck, built using their 1090 system, 10% carbon, 90% maple. You can actually visibly see the rod, which is covered on my GV Rock in Revolution Green. This replaces the traditional truss rod. It makes it incredibly stable. The neck doesn't move at all, which means I can play it anywhere around the world without needing any extra setup. This is why both my GV Rock and this GV Hollow will be my go-to touring instruments. The maple used to make the necks is locally sourced in France, air-dried for a minimum of 3 years, with extra time added in the making process, so it's super resilient for traveling, and handles different climates extremely well. It has a rosewood fingerboard with dot inlays on the side, a very modern radius at just under 12 inches. The neck joins the body between the 14th and 15th fret, and the 22 frets are stainless steel. It's just a great looking and sounding guitar, but it's super versatile, and they're light too, at about just under 3 kilos or almost 6.5 pounds. It's a very elegant instrument and a whole kilo less than my GV Rock in Revolution Green. Put simply, Vigier's guitars don't need much attention out of the factory. This is lightweight, durable, and yeah, I've already said it. It's just gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I love it. I love it so much. When I got a call from the team at Vigier saying we'd like to build you a guitar, I knew immediately what I wanted. GV Hollow, Stonewash Blue. Simple. These days, I'll only play Vigier live. They feel like home to me. I'm locked away this year making my debut studio album, but fingers crossed, 2024 will be when I tour said album. So sign up to my newsletter, link in the description, and tell me where you are so I can play a show near you. Then you'll also get to see me and my electric main gals on stage too. Okay, next on to the history of the company and how I got my hands on these guitars. Vigier Guitars is a French musical instrument company based in Grigny, a 30-minute train ride south of Paris, founded by Patrice Vigier in 1980. Patrice, a self-taught luthier, began modifying guitars and building finished necks at the end of the 1970s. He started out by modifying his own guitars and then established himself as a repairman in 1978. In 1980, he founded Vigier and brought out his first model, the Arpeggier. Vigier proudly focuses on quality and R&D over marketing. Each guitar or bass takes 3 to 5 months to make, with the process done partly by hand, partly with machines. Their woods, such as alder, maple and ash, come from French forests. In 1989, Vigier introduced their 10-90 neck system. As I mentioned earlier, the necks are 90% wood and 10% carbon, replacing the usual adjustable truss rod, something that sounds so new, and yet they've been doing it for years. 20 years later, in 2019, Vigier introduced the GV Hollow, their first ever hollow body instrument. Oh, and Patrice still inspects every single guitar they produce. So now to my personal history. I owe a lot to Ben Watsley and DJ Scully. I met Ben in Percy Pryor's Now a Music Room in my hometown of Salisbury in the UK. He sold me my first guitar at 12 years old, my Yamaha Pacifica 112. I got to know Ben very well because I'd go in every Saturday and spend all day playing guitars. I know, nightmare customer. I bought one £190 guitar from him and then sat there every weekend for years playing everything in the shop until I bought my next guitar from him at 17. No wonder I'm obsessed with the magic of guitar shops. So Ben showed me a few of the Vigier guitars, but they were too virtuosic, too heavy metal for me. Absolutely beautiful instruments, but they weren't quite right for me at the time as a budding singer-songwriter. I just wasn't confident enough in my playing and not even sure I wanted to play electric at all at that stage. Ben became Vigier's UK manager when I was 17. We played music together after he left the shop, and through him I got to know the whole Vigier family and team. Patrice, Lena and Mia Vigier and DJ Scully, who I actually met at Ben's wedding. With DJ, I actually had my first experience of American guitar stores while on a road trip in 2014, and he even starred in one of my earliest music videos for Blues Duet. I am forever grateful for the opportunities Vigier gave me. I was something different for them, playing a different type of music, and they really cared about me before numbers. In 2015, after I'd been wanting to go to NAMM for years, Vigier were kind enough to offer me a guest pass. My first NAMM was just so exciting. It was just so refreshing for me to see the part of the music industry that doesn't rely on exploiting artists, but works with them. These people are highly skilled artisans, honing their crafts and making these incredible instruments and businesses. And I just ran around, took so many business cards. I practically came away with a suitcase full. But when I first saw the Vigier stand after it had just been set up, I saw her, my GV Rock in Revolution Green. What's that? Oh, that's new this year. That's a new colour, they said. Well, that's my guitar. I was working my office job for £8 an hour, but knew I'd save for it by the time it was ready. And I've loved it ever since. I love subverting the idea of a singer-songwriter just playing an acoustic guitar. I love electric guitars and felt like I'd found the best guitar in the world for me. It fit my style and felt so easy to play, so dynamic and versatile. And it's been my main guitar since July 2015 when it arrived, when I've been recording or playing live. So it's got incredible sentimental value to me now, and it looked unique, looked great in photos, videos, and people have associated that guitar with me ever since. I just know this next part of the story is going to be difficult to get through. Okay, so in 2019, I was near Paris for a family funeral as I lost my aunt Jacqueline far too young. And well, it was a huge shock. And she was also a singer and musician and had bloody great taste in music, something my cousins have inherited. Before heading back to the UK, I got on the train to Grigny, where Vigier builds their guitars, and I visited the factory and they showed me this type of body, a hollow version of the GV Rock, the guitar that changed my life, but in tobacco sunburst. And they let me just sit with the guitar in the factory for what felt like hours, and I was just processing what had gone on that day. And while the world didn't make sense, the guitar did, and it just felt like home, with more breathing room. And this guitar is beyond special to me. Thank you, Patrice, Lena, Mia, Ben and DJ. You were cheerleaders before anyone else, and honestly, I knew I was going to get emotional making this video, and that's why I had to take my time. I don't often share things personal about my life, but this was important. And anyway, thank you for watching, and as always, I'll be seeing you here very soon, but back to just sitting and playing my GV Hollow.